So Kirkman, what can we expect going into season 2 of Fear?
I think we got a lot of boat action, but I think what that means is it's a fairly claustrophobic space. They're hiding away from the zombie apocalypse on this boat, and that is going to mean a lot of really intense character interaction. That's going to give us a lot of drama on that boat and help us to get to know these characters that we've gotten to know in these first 6 episodes of the first season so much better. So I think it's going to make the second season a lot deeper and a lot cooler.
Great, great. Well, we'll be here to talk about that too. This is from Kitsune Ray 3. Norman, if Daryl had known about Carol leaving before departing on his revenge quest, would he have gone after her instead?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think he would have gone after any of them, to be honest. I think he kind of gets what Carol's going through, and she's a badass character in her own right. I'm sure, he would maybe give her a little space, but he would definitely go looking for her, for sure.
We have a caller. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name's AJ. I'm calling from Fairplay, South Carolina. Norman, what was the hardest for Daryl, the guilt of losing Denise or being captured by Dwight again?
Could you say that one more time? I'm sorry. Oh.
Something about Denise and then something.
You wanted to know why I'm so handsome.
Oh, yeah. So what was harder for Daryl, being captured by Dwight or losing Denise?
Oh, wow. Denise, for sure. The Dwight thing, too, he wants revenge with that, and I don't think he's the type of guy who's going to stop until he gets revenge. But Denise, he was just getting to know her and liked her, I think, and that was harder, for sure.
So Jeffrey, as a fan of the show, when you were watching and you see Eugene rode off in the RV by himself, were you like, jeez?
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was such a great moment for him.
I thought it was a great moment, but just knowing like, oh, this is probably not going to end well for this guy.
Yeah, except for I like the fact that he grew some cojones and had that moment. It was such a great moment. I don't know if I thought immediately, oh no. I was thinking more like, yeah.
I did love the moment finally with Abraham, where Abraham's like, "Yeah, I was wrong about you," and he was like, "Yeah, you were." It's like,
I'll let you drive the truck.
So, what do you prefer aesthetically, Negan's jacket or Daryl's vest?
Oh, the vest. Sorry, bro.
The jacket.
Yeah, the vest.
Jacket.
Kidding me? I got wings.
You got wings.
A matching wallet.
Yeah. Every time a walkers die, Daryl's vest gets its wings. I am so thrilled that we're going to be doing Talking Dead all summer long after Fear. And before we go to break, we still want to know what you guys think and who you think is going to meet their end. Hashtag who is it? We're going to get the results of that later on. And coming up, an interview from the set with Josh McDermott, Michael Cudlitz. And we're going to answer your questions via Skype Live. But first, let's enjoy the Subway Fresh Buzz. Tweets we like from real-life fans like you. Enjoy. Welcome back to Talking Dead. I'm Chris Hardwick. Kirkman, Scott, Jeffrey, Norman. So we've been asking for weeks to go to Skype and submit your videos for a chance to ask these guys a question. Tonight you did. We got a huge response. The live stream is having some technical difficulties, so rather than have to force you to suffer through stuff that's not working, we're going to show you some videos that people sent in. Here's our first video message from one of our viewers. Take a look.
This question is for Norman. Who do you think Judith will grow up to be like? A leader, like her dad, brave, like her brother and you, a sword-wielding fighter, like her stepmom, hashtag Rashone, or someone else in the Walking Dead cast? What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think Judith is going to grow up to be like?
I think Judith is going to be like me. I think she's going to have like a little motorcycle, a little vest, like pink wings maybe, like a little flag coming off of it, and just be a little redneck badass.
I think she's gonna. I think it's very possible she could grow up to be just like Shane. We have another. Hey, it's in the
confident that she's actually going to get to grow up.
Oh, damn!
Oh. Wow.
You have one up to me, sir. We have another Skype video message. Check this out.
Hi, I'm Warrior Grandma, and I have a question for Norman. What are your hobbies outside of work, and do you use that crossbow outside of work? And one more question. Will you marry me?
Warrior Grandma! I love Warrior Grandma!
How can you say no to Warrior Grandma?
You can't say no to Warrior Grandma!
What do I do outside? I ride the motorcycles. I have a cat who's... And sometimes I do shoot crossbows at stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Warrior Grandma, I adore you. We got to get Warrior Grandma back on the show sometime. And so we have another Skype video message that got sent in.
Hi, I'm Clarence. My question is for Robert. Being a one-eyed dog, I'm always curious about the appearance of monocular characters on the show. Can you talk a little about the symbolism here and if we can expect this theme to continue in future seasons? Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you what. That was a great question from a dog that looked super psyched to be there. You want to discuss the symbolism of one-eyed characters?
I mean, eyes are the windows to the soul, as everyone knows. And I think that, when you see a character that's lost one eye, I feel like, maybe they've lost a piece of themselves, maybe they've lost a piece of their soul, or maybe I just think it's cool when people lose eyes in shows.
We should send that guy a really cool, we should send him a patch from the show.
Yeah, that dog needs an eye patch.
Needs an eye patch. We have another video. Let's see it.
My question is for Robert Kirkman. How did you came up with such an evil villain like Negan, and what made you give Negan such a simple yet effective weapon like Lucille? Thank you.
Good question.
Before we get into that, how did the W man get onto this?
He did. He looked just like the W guy. He looked just like the W guy.
As far as Negan's weapon, I have to give it to Charlie Adlard. When we did the series of issues that introduced Negan, I told him to just do a series of people having weapons. And I was like, guys got this weapon, guys got this weapon, guys got that weapon. And then when the cover came in of the guy holding the baseball bat, I was like, oh, that's Negan's weapon. That looked amazing. So it was really just seeing his art, and that's what...
By the way, we should have a huge hand for Charlie Adlard, who we talk about the comics a lot, and I always need to mention him more. So much of what we know from the show, aesthetically, came from Charlie. We have one more video.
Now, I would like to know, as well as all the other ladies out there, will we get to see Daryl in a shower scene on The Walking Dead?
I'd like to know that too.
I see that in real life all the time.
All the time you see that.
You can't get Norman out of the shower.
Yeah.
It's constant.
Are we going to see Norman in the shower with his crossbow? You think we're going to see a little bit of that?
Unchained melody sort of playing.
Or like the scene from Ghost, he just comes in during a pottery class. Yeah.
Maybe if we get Warrior Grandma on.
I mean, I think if the audience applauded enough, they might throw one in next season, but I don't really... Two shower scenes, says Robert Kirkman. Thanks, everyone who sent in their questions via Skype. We're sorry we had some technical problems. Coming up, we have an interview from the set with Josh McDermott, Michael Cudlitz, and Mr. Kirkman, Mr. Gimple are going to let us know what's in store for Season 7 of The Walking Dead. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Talking Dead. I'd like another huge hand for Josh and Michael and the entire cast of Walking Dead this season. They've been great. And they're nice people. They're just nice people. Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second, because I feel like it'd be remiss to not mention, I was just sort of rifling through. Some people are very upset. A lot of people are very upset. I get a lot of all caps tweets from people, because naturally I'm the Walking Dead complaint desk. But people are upset that they don't know who it was, and they feel like it's a stunt, and they feel like you're... To me, I sort of read it as like, well, it's not a series finale, it's a season finale.
Yeah.
So there are usually cliffhangers on shows. Going into next season, you have a reason to tune in, but I think it's just because people are so emotionally wrapped up and they just want the tension to be released. So can you please comment on that for them to try to allay some rage or something? I don't know.
Right. Well, I mean, first of all, as a fan, I love cliffhangers. I love that tension. I love the anticipation of finding out what it is. I mean, if you read the comic book series, I think pretty much every issue ends with a big cliffhanger, and sometimes the trade. So it is like a 6-month break if you're just reading that to find out what happens next. And I think that's a lot of fun. But I think that, this story, the cliffhanger isn't the story. The story of this episode, and, Scott and Matt Negretti, who wrote the episode, did such a great job of setting up how confident Rick was going into this. I mean, there's the great scene where Rick's talking about how, when we're all together, we can do anything, and then Carl comes and talks about it, and they feel so strong and so capable. That this episode is about the loss of that confidence. It's about changing that mindset. It's about tearing Rick Grimes down. And that's the conclusion of this story. So while it does seem like a cliffhanger, that's the conclusion, Yeah. And the story of who died, the story of what comes next, of who Negan killed, of what comes after that, that's really the story for Season 7.
It is. And I would say when they opened up the hatch, and we had to wait to see who's in that hatch.
Oh, on Lost, yeah.
Yes, I liked thinking about it. I liked talking about it when Commander Riker told Worf to fire at the Borg ship while the cutest is in there.
Oh my God.
I liked thinking about that. When McDreamy was left on the altar,
Yeah.
I liked thinking about that. Now that
Preach, sister.
I probably made that up, but I know something like that happened.
Yeah. What can you tell us about? Can you tell us anything? 'Cause Chandler Riggs tweeted, "Hey, Chandler Riggs, if it makes you feel any better, I still don't know who got killed, and it's been like 6 months since I read the script."
And we make him read the script with only one eye.
With only one eye, yeah, like this the whole time. So, is there anything you can tell us about anything about who might have gotten smashed?
The thing about this, if people are ginned up about this cliffhanger, this is what I would say. We have to do an episode that justifies it to you. We have to do something so great and so intense that you're like, okay, all right, fair play. And that's the challenge we have, and we're going to do it. We're going to deliver you something fantastic. So.
Yeah, I don't ever read it as like, you're a stunt. It's a stunt. You're trying to screw with the fans. It's like, this is part of the story. This is part of the storytelling
Absolutely.
technique.
And people are not apart from this group. This isn't like watching reality television where you're sitting and laughing at people. This is, we want you to be one of those people in that lineup. We want you to feel that suspense and that terror and that pain too. And we're going to deliver you a story next season that justifies it.
And knowing that you actually give a crap about the show and you care about the fans, this is something that you felt was important to do this way. So I hope that's helped somewhat assuage some of everything.
But keep hitting Chris with those tweets.
Yeah, there you go, please. All night we've been asking you to tweet who you think Negan picked to make an example using. Who is it? First place, most people said Glenn. Most people said Glenn. Second people said Eugene. Third place said Daryl. Oh my God! So that's that. I would like to thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching Talking Dead. My guests have been Scott M. Gimple, Robert Kirkman. Welcome Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan and Norman Reedus. Very excited for next season to start. We'll talk about it. For 6 months, we'll talk about it, however long it is. Find out who Negan's victim is going to be later on in the summer, in the fall probably. But in the meantime, be sure to join us next Sunday night. We're back at our regular time of 10 p.m. to discuss Season 2 premiere of Fear the Walking Dead. Travis himself, Cliff Curtis will be here, executive producer Dave Erickson, and the singer of Take Me to the Church, Grammy-nominated artist Hosier. Also.